All right, here's the first problem on the instructional video. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to calculate the numerator. So that's that top value. So we're going to have equal to some number on the top. So that's going to be 7,500. And then I'm going to put parentheses. And all you have to do is 0.09 divided by 12. So really nothing special there. Just make sure you have your parentheses around the 0.09 divided by 12. So I'm going to write that down as my numerator number. Okay. Now for the denominator, we are going to do the whole entire thing. But what I'd like you to do is completely forget about these parentheses. They're not important. The only reason they happen there is to say, hey, this entire thing, right? So we're going to ignore those. So watch how I put this in exactly. I put in the 1, then the minus, then the parentheses, 1 plus 0.09 divided by 12. So nothing special so far. Again, so I've got the 1 minus, then I've got my parentheses with this. Now here's the tricky part. Now I'm going to raise this to the power. I'm going to use this button right here. This is an older calculator. And I'll show you with the newer one. So I've just pressed that button right there. That gives me that caret. You must remember to put parentheses on the older calculator. So I've got that little caret symbol. And now I'm going to do negative 12 times 10. And you don't necessarily need parentheses within that, but your negative 12 times 10 should be in parentheses after the caret. So that gives me a 0.59206. So now I'm just going to take my 56.25 and then divide by my 0.5920, and I get $95.02 roughly. So this is going to be $95.02. Now, if you're off by that just a little bit, that's absolutely no big deal. All right, I will use the new calculator on the next problem. Okay, so here's our next problem. For this one, I'm going to use the newer calculator. So if you do have that version, you'll know what to do. Again, we're going to use 6,000 times 0.08 divided by 12. And if you want, you can put a times symbol in between here, right? 6,000 times, but you don't need to. The parentheses implies multiplication. So that gives me a flat out 40. Now in my denominator, I'm going to do the entire thing. So I've got 1 minus parentheses, 1 plus 0.08 divided by 12. Now watch what happens on this calculator when I push the up arrow. Notice how it brings me all the way up. So in this problem, I actually don't need parentheses. I can just do negative 12 times 3. If you want parentheses, you're welcome to put them. All right, so in my denominator there, I'm getting a 0.2127. Make sure you put up enough decimals. Okay, so now I'm going to go 40 divided by, because I'm doing this right here, 40 divided by 0.2127. Press answer, and I get a rough payment of $188.05. Now, you might notice that I got a slightly different answer on there. That's because I used this thing called, oops, there we go. Let me show you now. So I did something like this. I did 40 divided by, and then I pressed this blue button, second, and then I push the answer button. So the answer button is located right here where my finger is, right there by the minus. So when I do 40 divided by second answer, I get a little bit more accurate answer. And that's because I am using this whole number instead of just the 0.2127. But pretty much the same thing, okay? All right, let's do another one. All right, here's another one. So let's tackle this one. So we're going to do 6,000 and then 0.09 divided by 12. That's going to give me a perfect 45. Now what's my denominator? That's certainly a little bit more work. That's going to be 1 minus parentheses 1 plus 0.09 divided by 12. And then raised to the power. This is that newer calculator. See what button I pushed right here? That one right there. See my pencil? And that's going to be negative 12 times 4. Now, if you've got that fancy calculator that lifts up your exponent, you don't need parentheses. So that gives me that 0.30138. 0.30138. Now I am going to do what I did last time, where I'm going to take that 45 and then divide by my blue button, second, and then answer right here. That's taking that previous value of 0.301385861, and it's just putting me right there. So I press enter and I get $149.31. Okay, let's do our last one. All right, I'm going to go back to my older calculator here, just in case you do have that older calculator. So let's do the numerator, which is 6,000 times 0.10 divided by 12. And that gives me 50. Divided by, watch me put this whole thing in, 1 minus parentheses 1 plus 0.10 divided by 12. Okay, close my parentheses, just like I have here. Now I'm going to raise that to the power, and because it's that caret, I've got to put parentheses, negative 12 times 5, and then close my parentheses. And I get that 0.3922. And you're welcome to just do this 50 divided by 0.3922, or you can do what I like, which is 50 divided by the blue button and then the answer button right here. Okay, 50 divided by the previous value, so I get roughly $127. Okay, and 48 cents. Now, like I said before, if it's slightly off, like 128 or 126, that's due to rounding. It's really no big deal at all. Thanks for watching this calculator tutorial.